We will need to use Eclipse in this course to write, build, and test our Java programs. So Eclipse is a free development environment which is used widely in the industry. I uploaded, I think, 3 or 4 videos that Dr. Piercy prepared for his students, and he shows very clearly the kind of the instructions on how to download and install Eclipse, and also other resources such as navigating Eclipse, creating a project, and opening an existing project. So I'm going to go very quickly over all of those issues, but if you need more details, check Dr. Piercy videos. So you need to run Eclipse, you need 2 things. First, you need the Java development kit, and then you'll need Eclipse. All right. So to download the Java development kit, you need to install it from Oracle website. So you can Google JDK, which stands for Java Development Kit, and this will get you to Oracle website where you can download the JDK. Note that there is something called the Java Runtime Environment, which is a smaller version of the development kit that doesn't allow you to write programs. It only allows you to run Java programs. So Java Runtime Environment wouldn't suffice. We need the Java Development Kit. And the most recent one is version 8. Now it comes in 2 flavors, the Standard Edition and the Enterprise Edition. For this course, we only need the Standard Edition. But if you're preparing for NetApps, maybe it's a good idea to install the Enterprise Edition because you will need it as well. So, I mean, it's up to you. You can install the Standard Edition and you'll be fine for this course, or just get the EE, the Enterprise Edition, and you'll be good for NetApps as well. The Enterprise Edition is slightly larger in size. So either way, Standard or Enterprise, you'll need to download the installer that is for your particular computer, whether a Mac or what's that? A Mac or a PC. You go to Downloads. You will pick the version. Then the JDK version actually. You don't need the one with NetBeans. NetBeans is another development environment provided by Oracle. We will be using Eclipse, so suffice to get the Java development kit. Okay. Once you download it and install it, then you'll need to go ahead and download and install Eclipse. So if you Google Eclipse IDE, or the website is eclipse.org, you can get to Eclipse and go to download. The most recent version is called Oxygen, so you can go ahead and download Oxygen. If you get to download. And I think nowadays they provide an installer, so you download the installer package, and the installer package will ask you what version of Eclipse you want to install. Again, it has to go with the version of Java you chose. If you want to do if you install the Java standard environment, the JDK SE, you need just Eclipse for Java developers. If you installed JDK EE Enterprise Edition, you can get the Eclipse for Java Enterprise environment. Okay. So I have it installed actually, so I'm not going to install it again. But again, I advise you to take a look at Dr. Piercy videos if you're having an issue. Once it's installed, you click on Eclipse, or in the menu, run Eclipse, and Eclipse will start. Now, first thing, it's going to ask you about a workspace directory. You need to set a workspace directory that your projects will be stored in. I think it's a good idea to create a directory specific for the course or for Eclipse, MIST for 600 or Java programming. Don't put your projects into a directory or folder which is used for other purposes. So just kind of to organize your work, you can specify a new folder, new directory for the course. Okay. And once you do that, you can click on Use it as default and do not ask again. So Eclipse won't ask you again for it. And you can change it from the setting if you do so. Okay, so if I do MIST for 600, I click launch, and it'll take a while to load for the first time. And then you are in Eclipse. Now they provide some tutorials in here and samples, so you may want to take a look at the tutorial, but you can skip the welcome screen altogether. If you click on close, you're done. So what it shows you right now, it shows you an empty project directory, because we just created a directory. It does not exist. There are no projects, okay, and an empty workspace in here, okay. So the first thing we want to do is just to go and create a new project, okay. So go to new Java project, and then give the project a name. So for instance, maybe homework lab 1. And you can go with the default options. There are many options. If you click next, usually the default will work fine. So you can see here that it created a new directory or a folder for the project. Now, if you go to where this where you created the workspace, for instance, I created it in my home under MIST for 600, you can see it created a directory for the project. So within this directory, we will have your source code file, and then the program after it compiles, the binary files that we call the binary file. Right now, it's empty. There are no source code files. So the class file that we looked at last time in Zybook is a source code file. If I want to create a source code file, for instance, I need to create a new class from file, new class, and then I can give it a name. Let's say, for instance, I want to call it hello world or salary. This is, again, the name of the class. It's your choice. And it gives you also the choice of setting up, creating a main method instead of you typing it yourself. So I usually give it a name, a meaningful name, and create a main method, and click finish. And you can see here that you have a salary.java, which is the source code file. Okay, this is the class, and this is the main method. And if you go to that directory here, you can see that it created that file. Okay. So this is the editor. This is where you will be typing, will you be writing your source code. So for instance, if I want to do system out, print line, hello world, for instance, semicolon, I type it here in the editor, okay? So let's say I want to run this program. First, I need to save the file. Click on save, okay? Then I click on run, which is this little kind of play button here. And if I click on run, you can see that the program ran, and you get the output here in this console window, okay? So there are so many bells and whistles here, we'll get to some of them during the course, but the main area of interest is the editor, the project explorer here, and also the top bar that allows you to run and test your program. So once you're done, you can close the project. You don't need to, or you can close Eclipse. Now, if you want to submit, let's say, for instance, you want to submit this homework, you'll need to go export it first. So you can go export to an archive file, and you specify where you want to extract it. So maybe I want to put it on my desktop, homework 1, for instance, .zip, and you click on finish, and it's exported here, and this will be the file that you will need to upload to ELC. Okay. Now, similarly, if, for instance, some of you is working on the project and you want to email it to your colleagues, you need to email the whole project. So you'll need to create this archive, and the person in return will need to import it from an archive. Okay. So if you always, when you want to kind of circulate the project, submit it either to me or send it to a colleague, you need to import or export it from the menu. Okay. Any questions?
I downloaded the Eclipse package.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so is it the same thing?
Yeah, it should work. Are you?
Just follow the link that you sent us from the email.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just downloaded the package.
Yeah. So let's. I'm going to do the following. I'm going to give you a quick exercise, and then I'll end the recording. And if you're having issues with Eclipse, I'll take a look at your, see if I can help you install it. All right. Okay. So let's do the following exercise. So far we looked at very simple ways to create variables, integers. And we also looked at this print line and print statement to produce an output, to display an output. So I want to do the following. I want you to have one variable to store the year of birth. So create one variable to store a year of birth, maybe your year of birth. Okay. And then display the number of months, days, hours, well, let's do this. Let's simplify it since your birth year. Let's do the number of years actually, because otherwise we will need to actually display your age basically, and then display your age in years. Sorry, your age in years. Right. So one variable, assign the value, assign to it the year of birth, and then display the age in years. So for example, for instance, I'm born in 1983. What I need to see in here, I need to see, I am 34 years old. So the output should be, I am, how many years old, and so on. we close it, just close the window to give you access to the code. See, so that's the thing, you need to know to configure it. I think there is a way to do it. Can you try it? How about this? So then do it manually. Go to Windows, go to go to the window. Alright. Mm-hmm. Okay. So file, new, and then class. So give it a name. We haven't done input yet, so we did not do anything.
Okay.
So we're doing this tomorrow actually.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need to know about scanner. So for the variable, just set it by hand. If you want to do scanner, do it by all means, but we haven't done it yet. Go over them before tomorrow morning. Okay? Stop the recording. Stop.